my past couple of videos have been about players that were disappointing this season and players that were surprising this season. But there is another category of players that I think is worth talking about. That is, players who, in my opinion, deserve more respect for their play this season. These guys have played very well this year, but have not gotten the praise that I think they deserve. What is up with it, everybody? My name is Luke, and in this video, let's talk about 5 NBA players who deserve more respect this season. The first guy I want to talk about is Norman Powell. Prior to getting hurt just before the lockdown began, Powell won Eastern Conference Player of the Week, averaging an insane 31.3 points per game on a nutty 71.4 true shooting. Obviously, that's a small sample size, but he's quietly had a good year in general. This season, he's been averaging a career best in every major statistical category, as well as true shooting percentage and win shares per 48 minutes. On top of that, he's not a primary starter for the Raptors, as Lowry and Van Vliet comprise the starting backcourt for the team, but has still proven that he deserves starter-level minutes. Of course, he got more opportunities with Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard leaving this past offseason, but has still been a great scorer for Toronto, as well as his usual hustler and energy guy off the bench. But all the attention has shifted to Siakam's growth as a player, as well as Nick Nurse's excellent coaching. Now, I'm not saying that people should stop paying attention to either of these factors, but I definitely say that Powell has been an underrated piece for the Raptors, no doubt about it. TJ Warren is the next player that I think deserves more respect from people. Before this season, I was skeptical of how good of a player Warren was actually, as he played for a bad team, so he could have very well been an example of an empty stats player for all we knew. But in Indiana, he's had a very solid season, being the team's leading scorer, averaging 18.7 points per game on a career-high 60 true shooting percentage. What has impressed me a lot from him this year has been his ability to score efficiently on all ends of the floor, including posting up from mid-range as well as shooting threes, as he's shooting an impressive 50% between 10 and 16 feet, and 38% from 3. Sure, he has probably benefited from the absence of Oladipo. However, the fact that Warren has been able to put up similar scoring numbers to his days in Phoenix, but on a winning team this time, proves that he's a player that nobody should sleep on. The third player on this list is Dennis Schroder, the sixth man for the Thunder. Now, OKC has arguably been the biggest surprise of the season, and Schroder is a big reason why that is the case. Yes, Chris Paul has had a bounce back season, and yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has had a great breakout year too, and yes, Danilo Gallinari has finally been super healthy consistently. But make no mistake, Schroder has been playing probably the best basketball of his career, averaging a career high in 3-point percentage, and in my opinion, is the favorite to win 6th Man of the Year. He has been consistent throughout this season and often closes games for the Thunder. Of all the players that have been responsible for this team's ability to remain competitive in the West, I think that Schroder has been the most overlooked, but he definitely deserves the credit that he isn't receiving. Again, I don't want to take away from the other members of this squad, or Billy Donovan for being a great coach, but don't count Schroder out when it comes to this Thunder's team's success. The second to last player on this list is Montrezl Harrell, one of the 2 core bench players for the LA Clippers. Lou Williams has been his usual self this season, and Harrell has as well. However, I still see Sweet Lou getting way more credit for the team's success than Trez does, but Trez has been just as good, if not better actually, in my opinion. Realistically, the contributions to the team are very much similar. The pure numbers might not say it, but I do think that there is a case that can be made for Harrell being more valuable to the team than Williams. The hustle and energy that he brings from the bench is contagious, and the fact that he's 6'7" but still plays center full-time is nothing to sneeze at. Overall, he should not be forgotten or dismissed as simply the number 2 guy off the bench. I'd say that he and Lou Will are more like a 1A, 1B type of dynamic. Basically, what I'm saying is that Lou Williams keeps getting recognized for being a great bench player, which he is, don't get me wrong, as he's arguably the greatest 6th man of all time. But Harrell is also deserving of a great amount of respect. It's just that his contributions have been overlooked all season long, in my opinion. The last player that I think deserves more respect from his play this season is Bradley Beal. Beal was probably the biggest snub of the All-Star game this year. This is because the Wizards have not been good at all this season, but frankly, they've been outperforming most expectations, including the ones I had set before the season. I legitimately did not think that they could fight for a playoff spot at all, but Beal alone has been keeping Washington relevant all season long. He's averaging a career high in points per game, second in the league in that category in fact, while still shooting a very respectable 58 true shooting percentage. Given the state of the rest of the roster, where their second best player is, I don't know, either Rui Hachimura the rookie or Davis Bertans, I think that Beal should get some recognition for that. If you guys remember, Washington was expected to finish 12th in the East, but now that they're guaranteed at least 9th, I think that Beal deserves some praise for that. If they actually make the playoffs, then that's even more reason for him to gain some more respect. And it makes his snub from the All-Star game look even more laughable than it already was. Anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Just a couple more weeks before the season officially resumes, so we're all excited for that, I'm sure. Let me know if my choices were on point or if I was way off. My next video will be on 5 bold predictions for the rest of the NBA season in the bubble, so be on the lookout for that. And with that, I'm out. See you guys next time.